My name's Johnny.
Drop it.
How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Haha Joker, aka the Black Joker, back at it again with another Madden video for you guys. So today we got a new Madden update, which is going to be very interesting. But before we get into that, we're going to head and jump into this other little thing they have with the limited time signature players. So Jason Kelce and Telvin Smith, right? Now, whether you guys know this or not, I do have Jacksonville Chems on. So that Telvin Smith, yeah, he needs to be on my team ASAP. So this is probably one of the very few signature series players that I like and that I really need to have on my team. Like I said, I have Jacksonville Chems, so he would help out significantly on my team. So what I'm gonna do real quick is we're gonna go ahead and see what signature series if they have him out already and how much he'll be going for. Right now he's at 2.49 mil. Now I'm not so sure about this, but I'm pretty sure, and I also need the Eddie Jackson too. That's another one that I really wanted. But I'm not so sure. I'm not sure about this, but I'm pretty sure that I think once they get to a certain point, you can use training on them. I don't know if that's a thing yet. I guess I gotta find out soon. But Telvin Smith, Eddie Jackson are two of the biggest players that I need to have on my team that are signature series. But like I said, Telvin Smith just came out, and Jason Kelce's not on the auction block yet. But we're gonna say, I'm gonna guess that he's going for about probably about 2 mil also. So if you guys don't know yet, house rules is done. So no more house rules. I didn't get a lot of it done. I'm sorry, it was really boring, and the rewards to me just didn't seem worth it at the time. So I didn't get a lot of them done. I got a good amount of them. I didn't get 50 wins. Let's just leave it at that. All right. I did not make it to 50 wins. It was just too much. So yeah, I didn't really worry about that too much. But we got to get into the update, right? So Madden had this update that they just came out with that was very interesting. The key highlights were tackle animation improvements and new legendary players added to Superstar KO draft pool. Now, I don't really care too much about the Superstar KO. To be honest with you, I never even played it yet. I'm just not interested in it. But they have new players in it. So I know one of them is John Randall. I don't know what the other players are. But tackling animations. And they have also other updates too. They also fixed some stuff in franchise. Again, I don't play franchise, so I haven't really worried about that too much. But let's get into the issues that they apparently fixed. So, fix the issue causing Ultimate Team messages to appear during every visit to the main menu. Now, I had an issue with this a few times where they would kick me out during certain times, and they would send me a message too saying that there was an issue or whatever. I'm glad they fixed it, but I didn't really care too much about it, but it is what it is. Fix the issue causing players to occasionally slide before touchdown celebrations. This was interesting to me. So if you like to do the diving celebration into the end zone, instead of doing that, you would either fall to the ground or you would slide if you were the quarterback. So it was weird. Sometimes I don't normally style into the end zone unless I'm in open field anyways, but I guess it's been happening a little often and they complain about it, so they fixed it. Fixing an issue sometimes causing the double team pre-play menu to show incorrect text. I haven't gotten into using the double team mechanic in this game yet too much, so I don't know how it works, but we'll go ahead and I'll probably use it a few times just to see how it works now, and we'll go from there. So, gameplay updates. This gets into the tackling animation improvements. Added new tackling animations that prevent ball carrier from falling forward when losing a stiff arm attempt. So this is what I normally have been doing pretty much on goal line, right? So one of the things that I would end up doing is if I was running like, let's say a toss or a stretch, right? And I saw one person to beat, whether I had a good angle or not to use a stiff arm, I would use it anyways because of the animation that I typically got when like I would stiff arm and then I would kind of fall forward on them, but I'm still going towards the end zone. It was pretty much like an automatic touchdown. So apparently they fixed that. Tuning to decrease the efficiency of late stiff arms, those that start when already in a tackle. Now, this was interesting to me because the stiff arm is somewhat kind of overpowered because it's one of the only things you can get in this game. Even truck animations don't allow you to fall forward as much as the stiff arms do. So even if you do a late stiff arm, you still will get the quote-unquote win of that stiff arm battle because you're still falling forward. Even if you're not getting the animation that gives you the broken tackle when you're using the stiff arm, you're still in a sense winning that stiff arm battle. Fix an issue preventing a tackle from aligning on a broken tackle during the catch. So, if I'm understanding this correctly, I might have had some experience with this where if I were to go tackle somebody after they made the catch, my player sometimes would just collapse on himself as if he just got like freaking, I don't know, like his legs just imploded and he wouldn't make a tackle. He would just fall on himself. I have an issue with that because they told us this, EA told us this previously about this quote-unquote real player motion. Yeah, sometimes I haven't been seeing it. This was one of them. So apparently they tuned it or fixed it or whatever the case is. We're going to see that and we'll see how well that looks. Tuning to reduce distance from hit stick tackles. Thank God. Bro, let me explain something to you guys. You don't know how many times I've gotten hit stick from Pat Tillman, Harrison Smith, Patrick Willis, Earl Thomas, whoever, Ken Houston, where I would clearly have them beat on certain angles. Now, this is what I have a problem with. I've seen it happen to me a few times where a running back is too far for a pursuit tackle. So, in other words, when you get close enough, you should be able to click A and you should get a pursuit tackle. They will somehow outrun that pursuit tackle. But if you throw a hit stick, they get sucked into a hit stick animation. So they reduce the distance now of hit sticks, which makes it harder for defense, which is, I think, is a good thing because you shouldn't get rewarded for throwing a hit stick that's way out of reach that you shouldn't be able to get. To me, that's stupid, especially on how frequently my tall girly, he fumbles a little too much for my liking, but you shouldn't get rewarded for throwing a hit stick that's late or out of range. Not only get rewarded for that hit stick animation, but you can also perhaps get a fumble depending on what player hit sticks him. So I'm glad they fixed that. The next one. Fix an issue sometimes preventing a tackle from triggering when diving at a quarterback in the pocket. This is interesting because I haven't ran into this issue because I don't normally dive at the quarterback. I normally let the CPU take care of that. I know some people click on and they might dive to get to the quarterback quicker, but I normally don't do it. It has to be like if the quarterback's on the run and like Von Miller's about to catch him or something, then I'll click on and make that tackle. But I normally don't dive at the quarterback while he's in the pocket. I don't click on to a lineman to go after the quarterback. So if they fixed it, that's great. So we'll see how that works out. Another one. Fix an issue allowed hit sticks to still connect after an early attempt would result in a whiff. So this kind of goes, I think, goes hand in hand with the distance of the hit stick tackle. So they reduce the distance now. So now you have to be closer to hit stick. But if you miss a hit stick, right? So let's say if I were to, let's say we were running at an angle, right? And then I stop here, and then you hit stick here, expecting me to be here, but I'm still back here, right? If you hit sticked and whiffed, and I kept running, their animation will happen that will trigger as if you were in position to make that hit stick. If you whiff, you're out to play. Essentially, that's what I'm getting from this. At least I think. So we'll see. They're doing a lot for the hit sticking animations and stuff like that. So I'm really glad about that. Fixed an issue causing both the defender and ball carrier to fall to the ground awkwardly after a fumble. There's no words for that. It happens a little too often. Like, my running back will get hit sticked, or the person hit stick, and they will just dumb out. They will just collapse into themselves, and that's it. They're out to play. And then it causes this big, huge thing, and you're just pretty much waiting for somebody to scoop the ball up. It's absolutely ridiculous. So apparently they fixed tuning to make cut stick tackles more efficient. So for some of you guys, you like hitting the running backs low or hitting the quarterbacks low, and they'll like kind of like throw it away, like, you know what I'm saying, they'll evade it. They've made it more efficient now, so which is good to me, honestly. So I like that. Fixing an issue with the gambler and run and gun abilities. So if you guys don't understand, gambler and run and gun abilities, so they're talking about X Factor abilities, I believe. I have gambler on my Steve Young. I never had an issue with it. I don't know if there was cheese behind it or not, but apparently they fixed the issue with it. Fixed an exploit with pump fake mechanics. Once again, I don't use pump fake mechanics. I get how they're useful, but I don't use them, so apparently they fixed it. Tuning to increase catch frequencies for user control defenders on interceptions. You don't know how many times I gotta explain this, how many times I've dropped user picks that I'm in position for, whether it's in squad games or head-to-head games. People that I'm playing throwing absolute Stevies out here, okay? Terrible passes, or not even terrible passes, but I'm baiting people bad, and I will drop a pass, and I'm not talking about getting the bad ball hawk text. I mean just straight dropping the pass after using it. It's so stupid and it's so annoying, and I'm glad they're fixing it because it was so bad. So I'm glad that they fixed it or tuned it. They did something to it. Fix an issue with flipping offensive plays that will be using to exploit man coverage. I don't know about this too well. Again, I can't, depending on what they mean by exploit, can be taken differently, I guess. If I don't know if you're in man coverage and I flip the play to see if you are in man, to see if you trail with that guy, if they mean that, that's that exploiting to me. That's me. That would be the same thing if I put somebody in a motion, and if I see your defender trail, yeah, then I know you're a man. To me, that's the same thing, but if there was another issue behind that, then okay. But if that's what they mean by exploiting, that to me, that's not exploiting. But that's just my opinion. Likeness update for Ultimate Team legend wide receiver Terrell Owens. Not really important, but T.O. didn't look like T.O. in this game. So I'll just say straight up, T.O. has looked like T.O. in the past Maddens. I don't know what was the issue with this one, but that it just didn't look like T.O., so they fixed it. The rest of it is Superstar KO. I'm not going to get into that. And that's it as far as the updates it seems like it was a big issue with tackling was the primary thing. Specifically hit sticks. In Madden, whether you like it or not, or whether you believe in Madden's idea of the hit stick mechanics and how it works and this and that, it was flawed. People that are good at hit sticking or good hit power and stuff like that, you can turn coaching adjustments on, turn hit tackling on to aggressive, and you can have a field day. If you got Patrick Willis, Pat Tillman, and Harrison Smith, you can have a field day, all right, on your defense, because you're going to eventually get a fumble, whether you were in range or not, whether you deserve the hit stick or not. And it makes it harder for offensive players because here's your thing. Todd Gurley has, for the most part, good carrying. Okay? If he gets hit sticked once, it's a high chance he's going to fumble. Now, I'm not talking about me running the ball 6-7 times and then him getting hit stick and him fumbling. That makes sense. I'm talking about first play of the game, running the ball, he get hit stick and he fumbles. To me, that's ridiculous. Now, you can argue, oh, that's football, fumbling happens. Okay, that's football, but this is a video game. There's a lot of stuff that happens in this game that don't make sense. They can at least fix that issue, okay? People say, oh, you can just, for me, I'm on Xbox, you can just hold RB and you won't have that problem. Again, why should I have to hold RB for a running back who has good carry? Okay, now if he gets hit stick a certain amount of times, yeah, then I need to start carrying the ball a little bit better. Maybe I need to start holding RB. But again, I shouldn't have to worry about that because he has good carrying. And it poses a problem because if I know I'm in range to evade a hit stick, I have jukebox on him. I have evasive on him. If I jukebox away from your hit stick and I got enough distance, clear space to get away from that, I should be able to get away from that. But I don't. I get sucked into an animation that causes a fumble. That's stupid. But they apparently tuned it or fixed it, so that's good. I'm really happy about this update, and I'm mainly happy about the timing of this update. The update is happening before Series 2, and even better, before Weekend League starts. There's going to be a lot going on Weekend League, a lot of people playing, and if it stayed the way it was, there was going to be a lot of fluky stuff happening that shouldn't be happening. I'm sorry, but you only got, 4 minutes and a quarter? One fumble changes the game real easy. And whenever it happens, okay, I get it. Fumbles happen all the time, and I understand that. But let the fumbles happen when they're supposed to, when they make sense. If I juke into a hit stick, yeah, okay, I deserve the fumble. But if I'm juking away from a hit stick, having evasive and having jukebox on, I should get away from that. I'm sorry. It's just that simple. The hit stick animation, if you guys haven't realized, when you whiff, it's not like you cover a lot of ground if you whiff anyways. You're pretty much stationary. You probably go, I'll give you a yard, if that. When you whiff, you probably go a yard. If I'm juking away from you, bro, I cover at least, you guys seen the animation of jukebox. I'm not tripping. You cover at least 2 to 3 yards of ground. So why am I getting put in the animation like that? That could ultimately cause me to fumble. To me, that doesn't make sense. So apparently they fixed it, and I'm happy about it. So there was a lot to go over in the update, and we're going to see a lot of these things happen. I'm going to probably dive into a little bit of the double team mechanics and in seasons, and see how it works and see how the game's looking before Weekend League starts. So that's pretty much it. That was the update that was happening today, and I'm glad they had it. To me, it's very good for the defense. It's going to put a lot more, I guess, strain on how you time your hit sticks. Because if you whiff, that's it. You're out to play pretty much. Because with the running backs they have now, between Todd Gurley, Marcus, Gale Sayers, there are too many good running backs that even going for a hit stick, you might not even want to do that. It will make you think twice. You might want to go for a conservative tackle, because if you whiff and these players get in the open field, that's it. It's a wrap. So I'm glad they made these changes. And for people that don't even know about these changes yet, they're going to find out real quick. But again, how much it affects the gameplay, we'll see once I get into a few games. Trust me, if there's no changes made, y'all going to get a video about it. That's for sure. So thank you for coming through. If you guys like the updates that have happened and the updates that I talked about throughout this video, if you like the changes, go ahead and let me know in the comment section below. Go ahead, feel free to subscribe and like the video. Other than that, that's the end of the video. Thanks for coming through. Peace.